Welcome everyone to Flesh Wound Horror. What? I see your face.
Nothing.
Oh, all right. I thought
I'm not cutting that shit out. Keep going.
you just want. All right. You look like you were like I did something. I
You
can
always do
tell.
something.
Todd's got this like look where it's like that inner rage. Like he's not like a screamer, but it's like it's just like I want to fucking strangle you right now.
I always do,
saw it.
Dan. But no, you're just preparing for it because it'll happen soon enough.
I'm a student of human nature, sir. And I saw some real venom in those eyes, but that's okay. All right, so I didn't do anything. You know who the hell we are. This is an update. I'm Daniel Shine. That's Todd Loya, and we are Flesh Wound Horror, and we are here to do a collection update and a horror pack unboxing.
Of course, he tries to put his on top billing. So, yeah, but unfortunately, he doesn't. All right, so we're gonna do. Well, hopefully you can't see my dress. We're gonna do the April horror pack unboxing. See what we got this month. I know it's the exclusive titles all really anyone cares about. So
you're gonna get used dildos in the mail if you're not careful.
Well, quit sending me your stuff then.
It's messed up.
Okay, let's see what we got. All right. We're open, package normal. All right, so let's see. All right. I'm just going to pull one out.
That's what she said.
And, well, it's a Scream one. It's Blood-Sucking Bastards.
Blood-Sucking Bastards. I remember liking that one.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I already have it, so soon to eBay. Oh, well, there's another Exorcist 3.
That's not Scream.
It's the out of print Warner Brothers disc. So, someone might want that. All right, I got a 50-50 if it's the exclusive or if it's another random one. Oh, it's the exclusive, so I'm going to wait. All right, The Forest, which I actually don't think I own on Blu-ray.
Good premise, meh movie. I like the Suicide
Thanks,
Forest.
Dan.
Well, that was just, I didn't spoil anything. I didn't say Hilary Swank shows up.
All right. And you keep trying to use that as an insult, but that was Pugs, not me. All right. Oh, well, let's see what the difference is on this one, but it's Bong of the Dead.
Oh, Bong of the Living Dead. Yes, that I remember being pretty good. And
yeah,
that's horror pack, huh? Because I think they were self-distribution on
Scream Time. It was a Scream Time releasing one.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So,
that's actually a pretty good if you didn't have it.
I did, but oh well. So that's this month's. I mean, if you don't have it, it's definitely worth it this month. But
yeah, if you don't have it, I was gonna say those are all. There's no throwaways.
This one, well, for me, this month's kind of a bust because I owned everything but The Forest, which Dan was surely putting over.
No, I didn't say it was horrible. I didn't think it was as bad as they made it out to be. It's just, I don't know. The Suicide Forest is actually,
yes. But that's enough of that. We knocked out the unboxing. So let's see what new toys Dan got. I'm sorry. Let's keep it within non-adult.
Non-adult. Okay.
No adult toys.
No adult toys. Oh, well.
I don't know.
I got one. I'm good. All right. So I got a series of these. I'm not going to show them all at once because I can't. But the new Killer Clowns from Outer Space Funko Pop. I got Shorty here. And these, I got these a little bit early. And I still do like Facebook updates, but spiky there. But these are bigger because we don't do them as often on YouTube. And Jumbo. I thought they looked pretty cool. It was a bit of an impulse buy. I bought these like one of my first trips out of quarantine, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to splurge a little bit. And I got this, which is easy to find. I think you can even get it at Walmart. The demonic Pennywise and Funhouse, like the Jumbo pop,
That's cool.
Is yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I got this at a Next Store, which is like an app where you can pick stuff up from different neighbors around you. All right, so these are actually re-releases and they're expanded, and I'm gonna have to self-censor partially on this, but these books I highly recommend. This is actually volume 2. Flowers of Perversion, The Delirious Cinema of Jess Franco by Stephen Thrower.
I'm very familiar with that image. It's from Voodoo Passion.
There it is. I know, one of your favorite Francos. And they also, volume 1, they've re-released, this one's clean. They've re-released both of these in expanded volumes. They're hardcover. They're very big, thick.
Those look nice.
And I recommend getting them because the original volumes went out of print and were quite expensive.
How much are those going for?
The originals now?
No, the ones you just picked up.
I think you can get these right now if you're lucky for 40 or less, which is very well worth it. Like I said, if you're a fan, these are very good reference guides. I am a Franco scholar, but I am not a Stephen Thrower level scholar. That guy knows his shit. So that's where you want to reference anything from Jess Franco, and those books are excellent. So wrapping up the non-movie stuff, I got some new vinyl, as Todd often mocks me.
Hey, Dan, did you get your record player yet?
I'm working on it. I don't know which one to buy.
One that plays records?
Well, yeah, no shit, Todd. But I was born in '86. I've never used a record, so I don't know how they work. But I like, this was sort of my depression bin during quarantine. So
I don't know. Wait, I'm not going to let it go. How do you need to be taught how to use a record?
I've never used one. I never had a record. I was CD generation. This is the Night of the Demons soundtrack.
Yeah, I believe you showed us that one last week, Dan.
No, I didn't.
No?
Did not, Todd. I rewatched to make sure that I did not.
Okay, because I remember mentioning I had the cassette tape of that one too.
I probably said it on the show, but I didn't actually show it. I also got Hard Rock Zombies, which is actually, this is a very surprisingly good soundtrack for such a small, obscure little movie. At some point, maybe.
Here, I'm gonna give you a little bit more room, Dan. So I'm going to kind of hide myself. You'll still hear me, but
okay. So we don't.
Wait, well, that was the wrong one. There we go. More Dan.
Cannibal Holocaust. Actually, that one I believe I may have shown, but there you go. You get it.
No, I don't think you did on that one.
Yeah, I'm not the most musically inclined guy, but the Riz Ortolani score for Cannibal Holocaust is one of my absolute favorites. It's such a beautiful score for such a ugly fucking movie. This one, I cannot believe what is available on vinyl. It's kind of a new world for me, and I love the artwork on this one. It's the Creepazoid vinyl. Awesome artwork, and I believe it actually has some liner notes from Linnea Quigley, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't popped it open yet, but I also got, because I love this movie so much, the Lighthouse soundtrack on vinyl. It's another one I'm looking forward to popping in. I got the Halloween. This is the Bloody Pumpkin vinyl. Pick that up. It's a Books A Million exclusive. And I grab that. I feel like more people are hating on that movie for some reason, and I don't know why in particular, but it was like, I felt like it was somewhat well received at first. Now I don't know. I just feel like
the more that time sinks in, the more people are getting over their, oh my god, I have a new Halloween movie, because I think I think there's fair criticism on that film, but
there is. It's not perfect, but I liked it. So I got this one of several Stranger Things vinyls. This one was kind of the one to get for me because it's seasons 1 and 2. It's the actual. It's not the score. It's like actual music from it.
Nice.
You can probably pause your screens if you're curious. Some pretty cool song choices there. So this is another one I'm kind of looking forward to blasting once Todd schools me in what is a good record player versus what is a cheap.
I can't tell you now because all my record players are at least 20 years old.
Yeah, I don't know whether to go cheap. I mean, there were some cheap ones with good reviews, like $50-$60, and they were the review.
Honestly, you're not mixing or doing anything with them but listening. You can get pretty much whatever you feel like. I mean, I'd say look for a diamond needle, but for what you're doing, that's not even a huge. I mean, it's going to sound better, but I don't think it'll be obvious, and I don't even know how.
Well, now I have to. How much more is a diamond needle? This is the Creep Show soundtrack. This one now, I don't know if it's out of print or just more expensive and hard to get a hold of. It's from Waxwork Records, and yeah, I'm kind of excited. That felt like a must for Halloween time. I had one that's supposed to come. That's a very rare Elvira vinyl. They're Two Pumpkins or something. I'm assuming referring to.
Yeah, that's it's a single.
I lucked out and got it like fairly cheap. So
Two Big Pumpkins. There's also a video you should check out.
Oh, okay, we'll have to talk.
She made a music video.
And real quick, rounding up the vinyl, these were some used buys that I got. Love at First Bite. Don't remember anything about the soundtrack to that one, but
it's notable because, well, I don't know if it carries over to the vinyl, that they had to replace one of the songs for home video release. It was reinstated for the Scream disc, but it was one of those gimmicks. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. And the Ghost Story vinyl. Those were some cheap used pickups. They were cheap enough. They were $5, so I was just like, fuck it. All right, let's get into some movies. So Todd and I share a bunch of these in common, and maybe you can help me out because I don't remember where we bought them, but it was an online sale, and we got a bunch of Wild Eye stuff in particular. I can't remember who did
MVD.
MVD, okay. So really good deal. This one we reviewed a ways back called Cat Sick Blues, and we all loved it. I highly recommend that one. If you go back, you can check out our reviews. Part of the it's the third in the Wild Eye Raw and Extreme label. I also got Weed Wolf, which that's all you basically need to say about Weed Wolf. Just kind of have to do it. This one looks like a nasty little flick. It's called Hole. Could be all kinds of holes on this one. I don't know. It's
3 holes?
It could be 3 holes. Yeah, it's looks like kind of a slasher. The back cover on this one's kind of gruesome looking. Very yeah. So I have not even seen that.
I think we'll definitely do some more of the Raw and Uncuts. Or Raw and Extreme, what is it called now? I forget the line.
Raw and Extreme. It's a little confusing because they had like a Raw and they numbered them though with these. So
yeah. So and I've noticed, I don't know if you have, they're re-releasing some titles under the line that were previously released.
Yeah, it's a little annoying, but yeah, they are.
Well, but you're not collecting them all. But for me, it's so far there haven't been any I've owned yet.
What saved me is my asshole former film people had I think at least one on the label, so I was like, oh, I don't have to buy them all now. So, but I have most of them actually, truthfully, but yeah, don't have to get them all. So Zombie Rampage 2, which is a surprise sequel from underground filmmaker Todd Sheets. Curious to see this. He's some of his earlier films are not very good, to be perfectly honest, but he's grown as a filmmaker. I've actually enjoyed some of the recent stuff I've seen from him, and he had a couple interesting films. Completely discard what he's done. I also got this one. Looks like it's based on Todd's life. Abduction 101, which A lot of these live up to their titles. I will say there have been a few on the label that really don't. This one doesn't say a whole lot. It looks like another sort of torture porn type. It says, in the Me Too era, I'm glad they still make outright exploitation like this. So, yeah, you won't be buying this one in Walmart, I take it.
Sounds fun.
Sounds. There's actually quite a few Squatch flicks under this label. This one's called Big F, which looks kind of cool. I like a decent Sasquatch flick. There are some really bad indie ones, but it's all Night of the Demon for me. When you see Sasquatch rip the dick off of a biker, you can't top that. So you know, but I'm sure they try. I'm sure it's decent. This one is Erotic Nights of the Blind Dead. I'm a huge fan of the Tombs of the Blind Dead series, which just has nothing to do with, but it does appear to do somewhat of an homage on the back there. You can kind of recognize some sort of Templars. Probably actually the one I'm looking forward to watching the most out of this batch. Because again, I'm a huge fan of Spanish horror. This one is First Person Shooter. I believe it might be a German flick. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, this is a German flick. Don't know anything much about it. They said Duke Nukem meets Wreck. I feel like on a budget that's going to be hard to pull off. But
yeah, well, that's definitely what I want to cover.
Absolutely. Another, I don't think it's Sasquatch per se, but The Bloody Ape, which looks kind of cool too.
I'm going to assume it's an ape.
Well, yeah, but that could also refer to Sasquatch, Todd.
No.
Well, it doesn't mention Sasquatch, so I'll give you
because it mentions it's a bloody ape. Ape and Sasquatch are not interchangeable.
All right. Well, Joe Zazzo is in this. This one must have came out before, way back in the day, because it's from 1997. So they have had a few things on this label that are a bit older, like kind of obscure indie stuff. I believe this is actually from the maker of Blitzkrieg, Escape from Stalag in 69, which disappointed me, I'll be honest. It was kind of a Ilsa homage, and it was like 2.5 hours long. It was like a ridiculously long movie. It just didn't quite work. But that one might be pretty good. The back cover looks fun. Also got Evil River, another one from that label. Kind of looks like a Suspiria type flick. I got, well, who doesn't love Blood-Soaked Nazi Zombie Breeders? So I would hope not a German. No, it's not a German film. But it does say lesbians versus Nazi zombies on the back. So that's pretty much say no more. Yeah. It's kind of like the Fourth Reich, lesbians, Nazi zombies. Oh, and Wu-Tang did some music on that. That's interesting. What else do we have from this batch? Christmas Slashers, Secret Santa. I don't think we covered this on a past show, so that's something that'll probably come at a certain point. These pretty wild premises. There's Karos Hell, which is about a killer carnival ride unicorn. The trailer for this looks absolutely ridiculous. Nowadays, for me, like that sometimes works. Other times it comes off as a little gimmicky. This is actually from Todd Sheets also. It's got a hell of a cast. Clown NATO, which is pretty much as advertised. It's got a lot of names in it. I know. There's Linnea Quigley, Eileen Dietz, Joel Wincoop, who is sort of a Florida indie legend. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I think it'll be decent. like I said, with some of those, it's either like fucking terrible or sometimes they stand out. Doll Factory, which is, believe it or not a full moon film, but they kind of compared it to, if you are a full moon fan, it's well worth checking out. There's a lot of really bad doll flicks, but this actually has some decent buzz out there. It's definitely in that sort of latter day full moon tone, very tongue in cheek and kind of on the weird side. So that's what I like that shit. So that's just probably why I was confused, Todd. Also, Bigfoot Blood Trap. There's a lot of Squatch and, as you pointed out, ape creature flicks in this particular lot. I'm gonna start speeding it up a bit, but another touch.
That's a good idea.
I get a lot of shit. Another Todd Sheets flick, Dreaming in Purple Neon from Unearthed Films. I love Unearthed Films, one of my favorite labels. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. Yet another Unearthed film, all from this sale, this group, The Madness of Many. This has been out a while, and for some reason I just never picked it up. It's a film from Denmark. Looking forward to checking that out. I also got an anthology horror flick called Mortuary Massacre, which is from Wild Eye, but it's not that raw and extreme label. High Def, also from Wild Eye. This is a follow-up to High 8, which was a sort of an indie horror anthology showcase. There's a lot of different names, including Todd Sheets, Brad Sykes, Tim Ritter. A lot of them do segments on this. And last from this lot, a Halloween slasher flick, One Night in October. Probably by the time I get through all this, it'll be close to October, so be able to check this one out. Very kind of festive looking from the back cover. So if nothing else, always a lot of fun. We just reviewed this one, so we have we have an interview coming from the stars of this film soon. The Nobodies from Troma. So keep an eye out for that coming soon.
Any day now.
Any day now. Plaguers, which is an older, well, it's like a 2008 film, but Wild Eye surprisingly put out on Blu-ray. Plaguers, it's kind of a zombies in space sort of thing. Steve Railsback's in it, so kind of a flashback from Life Force. I always love Steve Railsback. This is one that's been on my list forever. I can't tell if it's supposed to be a doc or what, but it's there we go. It's called Black Metal Veins. It's from Unearthed Films, and I think it's kind of like a drug doc about like these heroin junkies. It's supposed to be kind of disturbing. I cannot feel if it's gimmicked. If they're actors or not, but I've never seen it, and apparently it's pretty interesting. These are a pair of Canadian Blu-rays that are, of course, our region. Gracefield Incident, which surprisingly never got a release out here. It's that I'm aware of, an official release. It's an alien invasion kind of flick mixed with video games. It's a video game developer who embeds like this camera into a prosthetic eye that can see these aliens, I guess. Yeah, seemed interesting. More serious sci-fi flick with John Hamm and Gina Davis. This also didn't really get good distribution, but Marjorie Prime. Tim Robbins is also in it. I have not seen it, but it looks good. Another one from a separate sale. Short Night of Glass Dolls, a giallo, which you can get on screenarchives.com, I believe it is. It's not available anywhere else yet.
There is also a region-free 88 Films release.
Oh, okay, sweet. Sorry, you do have another option, but it's very cheap on screenarchives.com.
Well, it was, though those sales are done.
Are you sure the Screen Archives? Because Twilight Time was separate. Like I noticed.
Oh, okay, the Screen Archives one, not the Twilight one. Okay.
Yeah. Twilight Time did have a sale that ended. I haven't gotten that stuff yet. This is from Screen Archives, and I believe it's like $6.95 last time. Which
that sounds right.
With shipping, but that's not that bad at all because a lot of those start out pretty pricey. Some of these you guys know all about. I'm not gonna waste a ton of time, but I got Gretel and Hansel finally. The Invisible Man 4K, which I rewatched with my mom actually, who liked this, and it holds up. I still enjoy that film very much. The Lodge, still love that one as well. Recently rewatched this one with a friend. This is on Shudder, but it is such a good movie, and I got the Steelbook, which was delayed for a long time. Tigers Are Not Afraid.
That's all there is on that is a Steelbook.
Oh, okay. So this is Steelbook.
Same with one cut above the rest, or what's the other?
One Cut of the Dead, which is
Cut of the Dead. Yes, there we go.
Yeah, I should have that actually coming maybe tomorrow or this week. This is an excellent film. If you get a chance, watch it on Shudder. It's a very emotionally affecting horror movie. I'm curious to see what the director Issa Lopez does next. Also coming very soon are 4K reviews of the classics Maniac and Zombie. We were so overjoyed when these came out. I'm not going to say anything about the editions, but reviews coming, so be sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube.
This Wednesday,
yes. So this one I was really glad they put out on Dark Force's Big Cartel store, and that is Primal Rage. This is was the most difficult to find, I would say, Code Red, or difficult to find unless you wanted to pay out the ass, Code Red DVD that's been out of print for several years now. And they finally put it on Blu-ray. I'm sure there probably will be a review of this at some point. You can get it on there now. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this one. Bo Svensson flick. I can't really remember what I think about it, to be honest, but also from Mondo Macabro, An Ideal Place to Kill, the Umberto Lenzi flick, which is a great movie. And not to be confused with Todd, there was an issue, and even I fell into it. I got a little confused with the
not hard.
I know, but it was confusing.
There is a similarly titled film in Severn's box.
Lindsay Baker Giallo box. Yeah.
Yes. And I can't remember which is which. What's this one called?
This one is from Mondo Macabro, and it's An Ideal Place to Kill.
I believe the other one's A Quiet Place to Kill.
There you go. It was just like, I don't know, and it's different companies, so it didn't make any sense. But it kind of I confused our loyal listener Donald, I think, at one point with this, and I was like, "Oh, it's in the box set." Goddamn! Oh, it's like, I'm stupid. It's Mondo. It's Severn. They're different companies. But,
release stuff that's you should always let me handle those.
I try. So every once in a while, as big of a collection as I have, I mean, it's massive. Like I said, it's basically over yonder, and it's every once in a while you're like, oh shit, I don't own this, and that is the Eyes of Laura Mars Blu-ray. Just had never actually owned it. Kind of a lesser known, well, not lesser known. I mean, shit, it's John Carpenter's screenplay, and it's, Faye Dunaway, Tommy Lee Jones, also a really good performance from Brad Dourif in this. And for you Deep Space Nine fans, Renee Auberjonois.
I hate to do this, but I would feel doing our viewers and listeners a disservice. There is a much better edition that is region free from Indicator that came out a year or so ago, which Dan knew about but forgot about, as I can see the look on his face.
Well, I got this for $5, so I'm not that cheesed. I can,
but I can't not let that be known that it's there. And
collection shame. Todd knows I have OCD, so I'm gonna have to fucking buy it. Like, That asshole's going to pay 20.
That's not my. Yeah, but where should you be investing your money, asshole?
I'm working on it. I think it's out of stock. I'm working on it. I got an Adamson box set. I've got an Umberto Lenzi Baker.
Those are
box
all
set.
things you need instead of stuff we need to do stuff.
Todd, if I cancel that, I'm going to be like shaking when I'm doing the show. I have no self-control. So, yeah. So anyways, a good Arrow release, Blood Tide with James Earl Jones. They put out a lot of Nico Mastorakis' films, the Greek director whose name I always probably butcher. That just came out, I think, about a week ago. Classic. Nothing more to say about this one. Idle Hands from Scream Factory. This is a great film. I've been looking for an excuse to rewatch. This is always around Halloween time. There's one day that this ends up getting popped in. So I can't wait to check out the Scream Factory collector's edition.
Same here.
This is I don't know if I probably saw this. It's a Tom Skerritt movie that they put out from Scorpion releasing. Oh, okay. Scorpion. Yeah, I got this during another recent sale since the last thing. It's kind of a action flick. It's got a good cast. Richard Roundtree from Shaft, of course, is also in it. It's I'm kind of curious to sit and rewatch it. I have a vague memory of it from renting it from my mom and pop back in the day. Some biker exploitation also from Scorpion, The Peace Killers, which I'm looking forward to checking out. What else do I have here? This came out a while ago, but just I hadn't gotten around to grabbing it, and it's the Cop Killers Project Kill double feature Blu-ray. And Todd, have you looked at the Dark Force site recently?
No. What am I missing now?
I'm not going to say a word. Just go to it and see some new merch they have up, which might be sold out. It's a T-shirt.
All right. I'll go look.
I don't know if they still have it, so don't be disappointed because I just saw it earlier and I wasn't able to tell you or last night, and I think I forgot to tell you. We reviewed this one just recently. Exorcism at 60,000 feet. Look at our recent video for a review. That's a new movie.
So I shouldn't say what I gave it?
Yeah, I figured. Let's not spoil it, Like and subscribe, guys. We're new to YouTube. That's all new. So I got some spaghetti westerns. I've been catching up. I've got a little bit of a gap on these, but I've got a lot of spaghetti westerns. Unholy 4. Starring, Leonard Mann, but also the great Woody Strode, who's a legend, been in a lot of really good movies. George Eastman, of course, is also in this. Everybody should know George Eastman, fans of Euro horror and exploitation. The Specialists, which this one, I may have never seen it. I've been aware of this film. It's Sergio Corbucci, and I think it's the only film of his that I've never actually sat down to watch. Spaghetti westerns, there's still like a few more obscure films that I haven't seen, but I love me some spaghetti westerns. This is kind of notable because it's a poster that's hanging, I want to say, on Brad Pitt's wall in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I think a lot of people are seeking it out. It's rated fairly well. It's not like the Mount Rushmore of spaghetti westerns, but I've heard some good things about it. This has been out forever, and I've seen it, but I just got around to getting the Blu-ray, and that is Amer, which is sort of a giallo homage from France. These guys have done a few other films, Strange Color of Your Body's Tears, which I also have, and Let Sleeping Corpses Tan, I believe, is the name, and I think that's more of a homage to kind of like the police crime flicks in Italy. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen that one, so I might.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask, was this it? Hold on.
Let's just say if it's what I think it is, there won't be any other complaints about Corona zombies. And yes, there you go. Okay. But it's the advertisement for it. I think
on
there
here.
was a little more of that. There's like,
but did
yeah,
you see? But did you see this?
Yeah. Oh, there's the one with the bloody badge. Yeah. Yes, chaos. It's just the logo though, but
and it doesn't go to my size. So god damn it.
Yes, guys, we're big dudes here at Flesh Wound Features, so be sure to like don't discriminate. God damn it. All right. So another sale. There've been a lot of sales over the last month and a half or so. Prison of the Psychotic Damned, which you can get at the SRS Cinema store. They've been having a social distancing sale that's been going on for a while. Kind of an indie flick. I don't remember it being great, to be honest, but it's Blu-ray and it's cheap, and I met a lot of the actors from that one. Gore Theater. Don't know much about this, but the artwork is always really cool on these releases. And one of the few that I was missing of like the older like SOV type flicks that they've been putting on Blu-ray. Dead Silence. This is the guy that did the Hugh Gallagher, who did the Gore trilogy, Goregasm, Gore Horror, which I like, and Gorerotica. This one's not connected. I think this is actually might be his first film, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, picked up some of those. Arrows, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Blu-ray. I still haven't popped it open, but I really, really want to. This is actually also on Shudder right now. If you don't.
I've watched the Arrow UK version, which is the same thing. I got the American one too, but I haven't popped it in yet. But it's the same thing, which it's a great disc already. So,
okay, sweet. Yeah, I've been wanting to watch. That's also another like. I'll be honest. I really like Elvira's Haunted Hills. Like, I probably might favor it just a little bit.
See, I don't get that, but that's one that's grown on me, and apparently I'm not alone because people's bar was set so high from Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, that when they finally saw Haunted Hills, it was a step down. But the more I see that one, the more it grows on me. I do not think it is better than Mistress of the Dark, but it is a good companion piece.
It's also very different, and I love those Corman Poe flicks that it kind of parodies. So
yeah,
I was just kind of a sucker for that. So it puts her in a different environment. A filmmaker that we love very much.
I hope Dan checks the. I hope Dan checks the host chat.
Oh, Todd has to. Yeah, yes, I hear you, Todd. Amityville, no. I'm getting to the end. Amityville, No Escape, which is a Enrique Cueto flick. Hopefully get him on the show one day. This if you get it through his
only place you can get it is through henflix.com.
Henflix.com. I highly recommend you help this guy out. We really like Babysitter Massacre, and I know there's 2 sequels, although three sequels, yeah, and different director. I like Enrique's stuff quite a bit. Alone in the Ghost House, which I've been aware of but haven't actually watched yet. These are, all numbered and autographed, so reasonably priced too. So you check those out. Another Arrow release, The Wind, also I believe, from Nico as well. This is a Meg Foster flick. I've seen this one a few times, but it's been a while. Kind of like 80s slasher meets Euro horror kind of flick. Meg Foster's in it, so can't go wrong with that. Guns Akimbo with Daniel Radcliffe. I've been looking for an excuse to sit down and watch this. It looks like a lot of fun. Samara Weaving's also in it, and of course she was really good in Ready or Not. This is a kind of a sleazy Western, not a spaghetti Western, but The Wicked Die Slow, also from Scorpion Releasing. I think it's kind of rape revenge kind of Western, if I remember right. I know it's very sleazy and downbeat. Mafu Cage. This is a weird fucking movie that I have not watched in a long time. Carol Kane's in it. This is also one from Scorpion. Hard to really classify it. I might do a review of it at some point, just because it's hard to check out. And also, rounding it out, you can actually see our recent-ish reviews of these, but some Vinegar Syndrome action here. We got the Trauma, the Jolly box set. Jallo. But it's called the Jolly set, isn't it?
Yes, that's plural. You got to use the words right.
Police are blundering in the dark. Like I'm blundering with but I like it, Jallo. So the killer is 1 of 13. And you can also see our reviews on these non-Jallo, Dolly Dearest, of course. And Pale Blood. We review these all on a recent show, so check that out, our reviews. And obviously, I am one hell of a insane collector, so that's I think that covers it. Quarantine, guys.
I think you could have just said you're just insane, but
I am. Well, they figured that out by now. New listeners,
man. I'm waiting for you to start collecting VHS next.
It won't happen, and I'll tell you why.
You've told me before, but I don't get why you collect vinyl and don't even have a record player.
But vinyl is not out of fair enough because I don't know which one to fucking buy. I've been like obsessing about it for like the last month and a half.
Here's a secret I'm going to tell you, and I don't know about those particular masters. Unless they're going back to the original master and they're using a digital file, you're not getting true vinyl sound. Like I know that that's a problem with the Last House on the Left one, that it came from the digital sources. Unless something in the last, since David Hess died, that they found those other masters. But it's always been from the digital files. And at that point, I might as well just listen to the digital file.
A lot I know do. There's several more record labels than I expected. I mean, Waxwork Records, Lunaris Records, which I highly recommend. And I know some of them do. I mean, you're right. I think the thing with it too is like how often is it that you actually will sit and listen to an entire album? So I don't know. That was like my quarantine thing. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. It's nice. It's relaxing. Have some scores on in the background. So yeah. So anyways, that's all we got for you guys today. We hope you enjoyed listening to this update. Once again, as always, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures for exclusive and uncensored comment. If you're watching us here on YouTube, which of course you would be for this, be sure to like and subscribe, guys. It really helps. YouTube's weird. It helps to get those. Helps to make us more visible. We've been on Blog Talk forever, but YouTube's new. So, and if you're listening on Blog Talk, of course, we still appreciate our old Blog
or
Talk.
any of the ways you get your blog podcast. Jesus.
Any ways you get your podcast. We're on everything pretty much now. And you can stalk us on Twitter at Flesh Wound Radio. And
be
Instagram.
Safe out there. Jesus.
Be safe. Be safe. Yeah, stay in right now. Watch some movies because it's pretty fucking nuts out there. Not so much where I'm at right at the moment, but about half an hour away, it's pretty fucking bad. How are you guys holding in, Todd? Doing good?
I don't know. The protest out here was supposed to start like 10 minutes ago, so we'll see.
All right. Well, make sure Bella's protecting you, and have the shotgun at the ready just in case.
I'm strapped, so I'm good. So
yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. On that note, stay safe, and we will be back.
Peace out.
Peace out.